Hi, third graders. Last week in writing, we learned a little bit about this power organizer. And I said that this is what we're going to use with all of our writing in third grade. So you're going to get real familiar with the triangle, the three rectangles, and then the triangle at the bottom. Last week, you worked on filling yours in with some information about your characters and your setting, right? Your rising action, your turning point, your falling action. And then at the very bottom, the lesson that you learned from this experience in your life. Because remember, a personal narrative is a true story about you and your life. Today, we're going to work on leads, okay? And leads are ways that writers get their readers interested in what they're going to read. Now, writers always try to find new and interesting ways to begin their stories. And we're going to talk about 3 ways to begin your story today. And you're going to get to choose one. Now, you might write several personal narratives by the time we get done. And you can always try a different lead, okay, or a hook. Now, we'll add to those leads all through the school year. So we'll keep adding to that toolbox, all right? Many writers like to start their stories in different ways. And today you're going to learn 3 of those. So what I want you to do is find your reader's notebook. You're going to pause the video and you're going to write down this heading. Probably is right after transition words. That's the last one that we worked on was transition words. So pause the video and write this title down. Writing a lead that hooks your reader. So think about fishing and how you would hook a fish. All right, now that you've got that written down, here's the very first type of lead. It's called a question. You know what a question is. It has a question mark at the end. You're going to be asking your reader something. Now, I shared with you last week that my power organizer, right, was going to be about a time that I went paddleboarding and I learned about paddleboarding. So my question is going to have something to do with that experience, right? Thinking about how I was feeling, what I was doing. And here's what I came up with. Have you ever been excited and nervous at the same time? Think about that. Have you? Maybe you have. Maybe you haven't, right? But I'm hooking you by asking you a question and getting you to think about that. I want you to pause the video and I want you to write down this heading of question. And then I want you to copy down my example. Now, your example will be different, but I want you to have mine so that you understand one type of lead. All right, we're ready for our second type of lead. Okay, we know that we can ask a question. The second one is to show action. Okay, action in the story that we're going to tell. So action means doing something, right? So here is my example of showing you action in my story. I picked up my paddleboard and took a deep breath as I charged toward the water. Okay, I'm showing you something. Can you see it in your head? You have to visualize what's happening. I'm picking up my paddleboard, taking a deep breath, and I'm charging toward the water. Okay, I could start my story this way, or I could start my story this way. Pause the video and copy down the action title and then my example. Our last hook or lead today that we're going to talk about. And remember, I said we'll add to the leads that we learn throughout the year. It's called 3 ing words. Now, thinking about ing words, right, that shows you action. Those are verbs, something that people are doing. So here are my 3 ing words, and they happen to go with what I'm talking about, right? You wouldn't use these same words because your story is going to be about something different. So you would have to find words that connect to your topic. Here's mine: paddling, floating, gliding. Okay. Notice they're each separated by a period. They're not in a list, so I'm not using commas. These are just 3 separate words. They all have something to do with my experience paddleboarding. Paddling, floating, gliding. If you can kind of picture that, standing on top of a paddleboard, that's what I'm doing, right? That's how I'm feeling, like I'm just gliding along the water. So when we write leads, we want to remember we have to hook our readers. We want to get them interested. Like, oh my goodness, what are they going to write about? So what you're going to do today is you're going to decide, do you want to write a question to start your personal narrative? Do you want to show action? Do you want to write 3 ing words? You'll have to decide which one you want to choose for this particular writing. And then what you're going to do is at the top of your Power Organizer, you're going to write it right where it says lead. Okay, you'll notice I did mine in a different color so you could see it. I'm choosing the action. I picked up my paddleboard and took a deep breath as I charged toward the water. Be ready to share which lead you decided to use to hook your reader. Okay, you'll probably talk about that in some small groups. And then we're going to continue working this week on writing our first draft of our personal narrative.